maximum state law. 140. And then he said I worked for the state.
I think
like 250 or
something like that. Yeah, maybe. Yes. Yeah. So
I don't need it for my job, but I keep it.
All right, y'all ready? At this time, I'd like to call our Town of Pierson workshop meeting to order on Tuesday, June the 2nd, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Yvonne, would you do a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Mayor Gray Leonard.
Here.
Vice Mayor Robert Greenland.
Here.
Councilman Jimmy Anderson.
Here.
Councilwoman Lenny Richardson. Here. Councilwoman Brandy Peterson. Here. Deputy Clerk Ryan Smith.
Here.
And I am present. Oh, Scott, I forgot about you.
And Scott's here.
I'm here.
Town Attorney Scott Simpson. Sorry.
That's okay.
Lenny, would you please lead us in a brief invocation?
Gladly, sir.
Thank you.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, we come to you today with great thanks for another beautiful rain event you gave us that is so life-giving. Dear Lord, I ask that you guide and inspire us this evening to make the best decisions for our precious town as a whole. And I ask these things in your great name. Amen.
Amen. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, our item on the agenda for new business on this workshop meeting is the Lions Club contract for the rodeo grounds. And we had kind of talked about this a little bit, and I would like to open the floor up to our council members to get any guidance or suggestions from them. And then we'll also obviously have participation from you guys. So I want to open it up for y'all to...
I'll restate my comment from last workshop we had, that I think the town ought to turn the rodeo grounds back to them like it was prior to 2020. Just for the simple fact of, most definitely for sure, what we have just learned
Yes.
a few minutes ago, where we're liable to be losing $125,000 in tax revenue next year and going to $250,000 in tax revenue in 2028. So I think we had a good partnership with the Lions Club, or we have forever, and I'd like to see that continue. But as far as a town goes, I think it would be in our best interest as a municipality to turn the rodeo grounds back over to the Lions Club.
I kind of, I'm going to side with you on that. I believe that it would probably be in the best interest of everybody to turn that facility over to them and just make sure that whatever agreement we do come up with, that they're going to be 100% responsible for maintaining that facility if it's going to be under their total care and control. That's what I would ask.
I would also like to say that, that the town reserved the right to, if we ever needed it for anything,
Yes.
that we could use it. But it would never be used on rodeo weekend or even per se saddle club events.
No, I wouldn't want to infringe on their event that they've had here forever and ever.
No.
And also on the saddle club events. But anytime that thing wasn't being utilized, it should be, and if I have any say, it would be the town's prerogative to use it for some type of event that may materialize in the future that we may not even know about. But obviously, we don't want to infringe on the rodeo nights or saddle club events and things of that nature.
Correct.
I'm okay with the contract from 2020. I think probably for liability reasons they would need to be required to purchase a $250, what do they call it, license fee? Event
or
permit,
something like that.
yes. And in section 5, improvements, it says licensee may erect and install improvements on above described premises necessary for intended use thereof after obtaining prior approval from the council. Any improvements erected or made will upon the above described premises shall become the permanent property of the town of Pierson. Instead of may, I would like that word to be changed shall. Under section 7,
Where are you talking about?
Page 2 of 5.
But you're talking about where it says licensee may erect?
yes. May erect and shall, well, let me wait a minute.
I don't.
May erect and install improvements. Okay, it can remain may there,
Yeah.
but,
In the very
under,
last sentence, it does say that it shall become our property, or the property of the town.
yes. Under 7, under fire protection and sanitation, licensee shall comply with all rules and regulations, whether federal, state, county, or municipal, relating to the occupancy of the use of premises. Licensee shall be responsible for the orderly and lawful use of said property, including cleaning said property, keeping it in repair, and suffering no waste to be committed against it. They repair it. If you want to use it for $250, you repair it. Make any necessary repairs. Licensee may not assign or sub-license this agreement without prior written consent of the licensor.
I agree with that.
I don't think we should give them carte blanche to just rent it out to whomever, whenever.
I think that my understanding of the intent of this agreement is to allow the Lions Club to use it to put their radio on.
Correct.
And that the Lions Club will maintain the facility.
Correct.
For the fact that they're going to have that facility without any other charge other than them actually maintaining it. But if somebody else wants to use it, it would be up to the town to make that decision.
Right, like the Saddle Club. We have a good rapport with them.
I do feel like, though, that since the Lions Club's going to be responsible for maintaining it, if we leased it to another entity, whether it be the Saddle Club or some similar event, if they do cause damage, then they're going to have to put a security deposit up or something when they lease it in order to cover that damage, because it's not appropriate to expect the Lions Club
Correct.
to fix a gate that was torn up by some other
Correct.
operation.
I know historically we've kept the propane tank full.
Right.
That should be on their dime. There's been some charges, electrical work and stuff that's been there that the bill ended up back on our desk to be paid. No.
Well, if they choose to make an improvement, then that's on them.
It should be
I
that
mean,
way.
that's my,
It should be that way, but it's not been that way historically.
I don't know.
Not since 20.
Yeah, not since 20 it hadn't been. But
When did we pay Fred for the electrical, Ryan?
Last year.
Last year?
Well, this year. We got the invoice this year, but it was the work that they did last year.
No, we paid that, Mark.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's for since 2020, y'all paid him, but before that, y'all didn't pay for no one.
Right.
I understand.
yes,
Yes.
Sounds like you're saying for a long time.
no,
You're saying
No.
he's for it.
I just say, I thought about the last meeting and being brought up about the town paying a bunch of money after they took it over 2020. Well, we planned on spending that money. Launch Club had planned on spending money doing that upkeep stuff, but the town took it over, so there was no need for us to spend that money. We would have spent money doing that stuff, those repairs we have in the past, prior to the town taking it back over. But anyhow, what I've heard so far in the contract, I was trying to let all the council members go through and see what y'all wanted to say. But the agreement you're looking at 2020. So first we went off the Lions Club taking over maintenance of the whole arena. For a 2-night event. I mean, it's 2 nights. We have it. I mean, I know we have stuff up there prior to 2 nights getting ready, what have you. But 2-night event, you want us to maintain the whole thing year round. Does that include mowing? What is in that? Is it electrical, the maintenance of the stands? Is it the spraying? What? Can you give me an itemized list of what you want on that maintenance program, for one, because that's an additional cost. If we gotta go up there and mow it all the time, what did we get to gain other than the 2-night event that we get to have?
The part that I was talking about or thinking about the Lions Club, from my fault maintaining, was the arena and the seats on those wooden bleachers.
That's what was my question.
I
That's
mean,
the
the mowing,
concern.
yeah, the
That's
mowing.
where the money is.
We mow.
We mow up there anyway.
We mow up there anyway.
Okay.
But do y'all not have national high school and barrel races up there and the bleachers are okay?
No,
They haven't done that in a couple
we
years.
haven't done that in years.
Yeah.
They want covered arenas, they want.
Right.
And they don't like the railroad.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And the amount of people that would use bleachers at a Saddle Club event would fit in one of those aluminum bleachers, correct?
Yes, and if we didn't have bleachers, they'd put
Yeah.
our chairs.
Right.
So, I mean, we don't really.
The only time those,
The bleachers already cost us $1,000 because back when Robert and James Pierson was in charge, we had sprinklers up there. Well, James came to us and said, we're ruining the bleachers because we're running sprinklers and they're getting wet. So we spent $1,000 and redid all of our sprinklers, so they would not turn all the way around. So we fixed it.
the only time I know for sure that those wooden bleachers really get used to speak of is during the rodeo. I mean, the rest of the year, they're just there. They're in place. I mean, I don't go to the Saddle Club very often, but when I have gone up there, I haven't seen the bleachers with a whole lot of people in them. The wood bleachers I'm talking about.
They definitely don't pack them like us, but even when I went up there, my wife and daughter rode and friends, when I'd go up there, I sat in the bleachers. I mean, I can't help it, they ain't full, but that's where I sat, But anyhow, I don't want anything to happen to them. She knows that I want them to keep going. I think this community, it's an agricultural community, and rodeo and that kind of stuff is very important to have, and the Saddle Club is part of it. But anyhow, I'll let you finish what Brandy's got on the maintenance stuff, but, whatever we talk about here today, we need to go back to our clubhouse if I got a whole emergency meeting, and us also vote on whatever we talk about here today.
Well, I believe, Philip, that if the Lions Club is going to use that rodeo arena for basically no cost, you guys can maintain it. If you're not willing to maintain it, then,
Other than mowing.
we
town will keep
mow
the
up
facility
there
mowed.
regardless. But as far as maintaining the fence and the holding pins and the chutes and that kind of stuff, I don't think the town's going to want to maintain that. If y'all are going to see, we don't have obviously, especially with what's just happened with our tax thing that just went through in Tallahassee, we can't keep it maintained for you guys to have rodeo up there 2 nights a year. We cannot afford to do it.
My opinion on this is we keep our 2020 contract, we change the payment terms down and keep things how they are, because we have finally spent the money and got 95% of the stuff repaired over there except the bleachers. And if you want to go to take them but down to not paying us to use the arena, that's one thing. But to give them and say, hey, you fix everything over there, I mean, that's like throwing it, I mean, I don't think that that would be the right thing to do for all of the residents, for Saddle Club, because they do pay us to use that facility, and they shouldn't have to pay the Lions Club to use our facility.
No.
There's lots of,
No,
I don't think we need to
it
get,
says no subletting.
That's the
so
sublease
no.
we're talking about in the
well,
Saddle
that's in the
Club.
2020 contract if we go with this. We've talked about two different things here.
Yeah, in the 2020 contract, it doesn't have us doing the whole maintenance.
Correct, just for your
That's
event.
where you were
Well,
confusing me.
it
Okay.
does. Keeping it in repair,
Well, it wouldn't have to be in repair as is, what we get the condition of it?
I guess whatever repair would be deemed necessary for the event.
It says that the licensee shall be responsible for the orderly and lawful use of the property, including cleaning the property, keeping it in repair, and suffering no waste to be committed against it. So it sounds to me like, according to this contract, you're required to keep it in repair. I mean,
I guess I can help you all understand the difference between a license and lease. There's really two different concepts. A license is the right to enter into a piece of property for a particular purpose on a particular date, and then you leave, and that's what you use it for. You see that a lot with agriculture. Like if you give somebody, if you have timberland, give somebody a license to enter the property to cut the timberland and come out. That's an example of that. And this is an example. I would interpret the language you talk about repair and maintenance to repairing damage done during those 2 days they're there, not the other 365 or 64 days a year. It's only the days they're there, they maintain and make sure there's no waste, because they only have a right to go in there 2 days a year. A lease is turning more control over to them year-round, and that's the kind of the difference between a lease and a license. And they can get blurry when you have a license that gives a lot of dates to go in there. Lake Helen, we have a rodeo, the facility there, and we have a saddle club. We have a license with them, and every year they have to give us the dates they want to have pursuant to their license, that they go maybe once a month or whenever they want to have events. They let us know, I think May of every year, here's the calendar for the upcoming year, these are the dates we're going to use it. And the city can use it on the other dates, but because they do maintain some responsibility to maintain that property, because they use it multiple times throughout the year. And they're actually very protective of it. They don't want it, if you're going to use it for rodeo purposes, they're kind of particular about the sand and how it's maintained and everything, so they do that. I can get you a copy of the license agreement that Lake Helen has for its, I can't think of the name of it, but they have a facility there, but they do have a saddle club in Lake Helen.
Silver Sands.
What's that?
They have West Volusia's, it's called West Volusia Saddle Club.
The saddle club. I can't think of the name of the facility.
It's just Lake Helen, we just don't know it's Lake Helen.
Yeah, it was built through an ECHO grant, I think. But that's kind of the difference between a license and a lease. A lease, if you lease the land to them, subject to what you retain the right to do as the owner, the tenant, the lessee, has now kind of control over that property other than what you retain. A license gives the lessee or the licensee the right to use property on the dates outlined in there subject to the terms. Other than those dates, it remains with the licensor, which is the city. So that's kind of the distinction between the two. So,
Which is what we want. I mean, they get it 1 weekend a month.
and that would be similar to Lake Helen's license, that they give us a calendar and say, these are the dates we want for the upcoming year. They have their events, and then the city can have events. They have car shows and other things on the property when that's not there. I can get that, and they have stables. I don't know if they'll have stables out there.
No.
Okay. They have stables up there. I know the Saddle Club's in charge of leasing out the stables to people. But if you would like, I can get you a copy of what.
We already have a contract with Saddle Club, do we not? Or
Yeah, we have a
like
contract.
Yes.
Here's my question, because we keep going back to maintenance. If there's a license agreement with the Saddle Club or the Lions Club, is there an expectation of the condition in other words, can the town, as a licensor, just say, it's as-is condition? If you don't like something that's out there, if a gate's broken or whatever, you're licensing it for 2 days, you can upgrade it or fix it to your standard or specification. But the town is just providing this as is. That's my question. Or is there an expectation that we have to maintain it at a certain?
You can address that, but, I mean, I don't know how much, if you're only going to let somebody use the property twice a year, I don't know how much repair you expect them to do when they're only going to use it for twice a year. I mean, that is
I guess my point is, it's not that we expect them to do repairs, it's that in the past, our Public Works has been given a list of stuff that needs to be repaired, and they go up there and they spend a week on the town's dime.
Right.
So in other words, like, we're expected to repair it to a certain standard so that we can have events. But the town, other than the Saddle Club and the Lions Club, we don't use it. You're talking about maybe 12, 14 days a year that it gets used.
You either charge them enough to use it to cover your costs, or you don't charge them and shift the cost of maintaining it to them.
Correct.
That's what I thought we were doing.
That's what I thought.
That's exactly what I thought we were doing.
We're trying to do that.
I stated that last meeting.
Right.
We let the Lions Club lease it for $1, and they make all the repairs necessary to put their rodeo on.
But then the problem that you run into there is if you lease it to the Lions Club and they have exclusive right to it, what happens to the Saddle Club?
Well, we
We're
talked
still
about a
gonna
whole
do- we're still
different
gonna
thing
have the
last
Saddle
time
Club.
than what we just talked about here and keeping this contract. They're two different things. We're going to keep this contract and put it at $0 according to this contract from 2020. Or are we going back before 2020, which is what we talked about at the last meeting, going back before 2020's agreement and going with how it was then, which was strictly giving Lions Club the authority to do all the repairs, to lease it, and to do everything with it. So that's two different things. So where are we at?
I guess I'm looking at it as a third option, which is you draft something new, or you take something existing and you make
Yes.
revisions to it to suit where you want to go. But in essence, it would either be a new license agreement or it would be a new lease. But the current, I think you want a hybrid of both. I think you want some of the stuff that you had prior to 2020, and you want to keep some of the stuff that's in the new one. I don't think it's an either-or thing. But
It kind of sounds like you want something akin to what Lake Helen has, where you have a license that provides multiple days that they go there, but because they don't pay a fee, they're responsible for maintaining it.
right.
But the
Correct.
city then has the right to use it on the days they're not licensed to use it for other things. You know, if you're going to do a lease, then what you could put in there that they can't sublease, other than you create the right of the current Saddle Club to have the right to use the property within the lease, subject to their lease. You could address that in there, but no other subleasing would be allowed other than to make sure that the Saddle Club is protected. If you do the license, you can license it to them for so many days a year. You can also do another license, because the license is not exclusive. You can do license to the Saddle Club for the other days that they want to do. You can maintain two licenses.
I think the license is a good idea as long as you can say in there, if you deem that upkeep or repairs are necessary for you to have your event, then you could do that at your cost. I mean,
I think we
they
could
can
put it
ask
actually in
us.
there. If we're not charging them money, that they are responsible for the upkeep
Correct. That's
of it. And it's easy when you have one licensee using it. When you have two licensees, you have now this entity and then the Saddle Club using it. Now you got two people who could be causing damage there. And it may, I don't know the best way to deal with that, because they could each point fingers at the other saying, well, you did that.
Yeah. When you have a gate broken,
Who fixes it?
when did it really get broken? Who's going to
Yeah.
fix it? I mean,
Yeah,
Phil,
and,
yes.
and there's access to those rodeo grounds even when we're not there using it. That's the other issue. There's other people not saying they do, but they could go up there, tear up the gates, kids, whatever, because
Who goes up there and
I'm not
uses
saying
it?
they do, I said they can't.
No, but who uses it when you and the Saddle Club aren't using it?
I don't know.
Enlighten me on
I'm
that.
just saying, you had kids doing donuts in the yard up there. I mean, when we do the rodeo, we cover that whole area, as well as I do for the parking and everything. So
That's why most of the time those gates going into that rodeo ground are locked.
So the way I would look at it is before I have my event, I would take pictures, photographs, to make sure I have one of y'all there, make sure everything's working properly, okay? And then when I get done with my rodeo, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Right.
So that way, come next year, stuff is broke, it shouldn't fall on us. We shouldn't have to maintain something that happened throughout the year or fix something if we're doing the 2020 contract.
Can't do that because there's acts of God, Philip. Lightning strikes.
Yes, sir, we found out about that.
Yeah,
last year.
we
had to
did. We
repair-
found out about it for sure.
We had to repair the well right
Yes.
at the day of our rodeo.
Yep.
Thank God for good people around here.
We've had to do something as well due to lightning on our new well.
Yeah.
On our new well.
Well, we've talked about that in the office, that, what we'll have to start doing is sending Public Works out, or one of us will have to go out, and like you said, document the condition of it before and after. That way everybody just like when you rent a car, you do a walk around to make
Right.
sure there's no surprises, there's no, you know what condition it was given to them in and what condition you got it back in.
I don't think anybody on the council would expect you to repair a fence if some yahoo went up there on a Saturday night in the middle of the wintertime when nothing was going on and drove through the fence and tore it up.
Yes, sir, I understand that.
I don't
I'm just trying to
think it's-
cover my club and our members, because we have to cover, just like you do your funding, we got to keep ours. Our banking account is limited to a certain amount, and, we got to keep stuff in there too for whatever. There are some concerns, I think, with some of the club members, because we do rent our hall, and it's a big issue, just renting that thing out monthly or weekly, especially every weekend, it's just about renting out. And we do the same thing. When we know that we have an event that we needed to, we don't rent it out, we block it out. Same thing, if you have your 4th of July event, let's block it out. If they have their events, block it out. So there's a lot of questions on our side too. Insurance stuff, if we rent it out to somebody else, I don't know how all that worked before. So there's a lot more work if we were to take over as a leasing and rent it out, this and that. There's a lot of stuff on our end too that we have to think about too.
Yes, sir.
It sounds to me like that there's two different kind of thoughts going on here. One is you want us to maintain it, not just repair stuff broken, but maintain it. Keep it maintained. There's a lot of maintenance up there. But like right now, those all the lights need to be changed. I mean, I talked to a friend
I
about.
thought y'all just had some lights put up there.
We just had them repaired.
Arena lights.
Oh, okay.
We did have some lights.
Okay.
But I'm talking about arena lights. There's a lot of maintenance that goes on up there to keep it ready. Not just stuff that gets torn up, just to maintain it. And it sounds like y'all would like to give it, some of you sound like you'd like to chip it back to the road, to the Lions Club to do that like we did prior to 2020. We did all the maintenance. Well, everything that's up there, basically, the Lions Club put it into the Saddle Club put it there. That's where the Saddle got there. Town really hasn't built anything or put anything up there. They put a fence, I'll say a new fence.
All new electrical panels, a whole bunch of boards on the bleachers. We've spent a lot of money in the last 5 years up there, Mr. Levine.
All maintenance.
Yeah,
That's all maintaining stuff.
Prior maintenance that didn't get done that we had to do.
Well, it's prior
Whose
maintenance.
fault, I'm not saying, but it has been done.
I understand it, but it's maintenance on something that was already there, you have to maintain. We did that
Correct.
prior to that.
Yes.
We didn't, but now when you took it over, and it might not be in that contract, but there was a verbal agreement with Sammy Bennett, he was on the council, and he was the chairman at the time. He said that the council, the town, do all the repairs, all the maintaining. He said that. It might not be in there, nobody might not believe me, but that's the truth.
I remember.
Yeah, and so that was the deal. And so the town did do that, and town, there's a lot, they found out that there's a lot more, expense to the maintenance than I guess maybe they expected. I understand that, but
Well, here's
here's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like y'all would like to have us do all the maintenance for 2 nights, but y'all want to still have the control. I don't know, you can ask the attorney, I don't think you can have it both ways. I think
Well-
you either got to lease it or you got to rent it, but you can't have it both ways. What it sounds like he said, it's what it sounds like. That sounds what it sounds like y'all, some people.
So what would you like to do more events there, or what? What's the
Well,
issue?
Like here for one, here we had you remember we had a circus there one time.
Yeah.
Had a circus there one time.
Yeah.
I was saying we can't do that now. Y'all said we can't do stuff like that, but we did. One time we had a circus
Yeah.
there.
And
I don't know if y'all remember that or not. If we wanted to, we could, but if we don't have no
And
control.
it says in this contract you can come to us and request,
You said we couldn't sublet.
no, you can't sublet it, but if you were hosting it, you're not subletting it. If you're hosting it,
I think we just
But
No.
pay them, let them pay us for doing, putting their rodeo on. Their circus on, they just paid us a flat fee. We weren't the sponsors of it. They gave us money, we let them do the circus, and that's the end of the deal. You know what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying. If we sponsor it, we're in charge of it, we're, taking on the liability for it, that's a whole different, ballgame. We basically subleased it to the people that did the circus. They just paid us a flat fee.
So-
They put on circus.
And for example-
That's a lease, or sublease, I guess.
yes, no.
For example, I believe this is the way it was. Y'all, the South Club paid the Lions Club to use the arena.
Yes.
So that's steady income, right? Right now, we do 2 fundraisers a year, the rodeo and our golf tournament. That gets us through the year with what we have. Without that extra income, you're talking about lightning strike, anything else up there. That's extra cost that we didn't plan on. And when you don't have steady income, just like you're not gonna have steady income in taxes or whatever, you gotta offset that money somehow.
That, prior to 2020, the Saddle Club paid the Lions Club, how much?
Just
200 a month.
200 a month. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm telling you, we need to go back how it was prior
Not
to,
want to pay
to-
Lions Club.
Correct. That's what I know. We gotta talk to all the non-for-profits. Saddle Club's a non-for-profit. We have tried to support Community Pierson Association. If we lease and give everything we have for free to everybody, then how does the town?
Make money. We don't want it for free.
Well, everything,
We're not asking for free.
before 2020, the town didn't spend any money up there. Before that,
Sure.
and that was, the rodeo was up there many, many years before 2020.
yeah.
The Lions Club put everything, y'all don't want to hear that, but they put everything up there that was there that we needed to have a rodeo. The Lions Club, with the help of the Saddle Club on some things, that's where it came from. And when 2020 changed everything, it got to be I'll be honest with you, it was a pissing match, just like what's going on right now. Somebody in the Lions Club wanted control, and somebody in the town wanted control of the ground. And then 2 people got to button heads, and then the lease got done, and the town got it back, they wrote a new contract. Here we are, now y'all gotta pay all this maintenance, and now y'all don't like it, I understand that, I understand it's a lot of maintenance, I do, we paid it for. Y'all trying to say that we had let it run down, and no, we had rodeos up there every year, we did everything we needed to do to have a rodeo. It might not have been everything pristine, but we did what we needed to do to have a safe rodeo. So we spend a lot of money every year, I know, because I've been in high school 40 years, we spent a lot of money every year to maintain that rodeo ground. Here's the Lions Club. Listen, I'm a resident of this town, and I'm not trying to be, I don't think that the Lions Club should be shown any kind of special consideration, over anything else that's in the town going on. I don't think that. I don't believe that. I just don't see how you can say, we want y'all to rent it, we want y'all to do all the maintenance and everything, but you only got 2 nights, we got everything, and we got all the control. I just don't see how you can have it.
I don't agree with that either, Lamar, and that's not what I said at all.
Yeah.
I said go back to the 2020 contract, put it at $0, and we can change some wording about who's gonna clean it up and who's gonna take care of the repairs in there.
Yeah.
But as far as giving you all the responsibility, that's not on you. I don't think that needs to be on the Lions Club as well. Kathy, are you got your hand raised, or you?
I was thinking, like, I thought with that and the concern of the cost and this and that, why do you not set it up like the Civic Center where it's a set fee? Doesn't matter if they use it, we use it, doesn't matter. It's a set rental fee with a set deposit, and then whoever rents it, doesn't matter if Joe Blow comes off the street and wants to rent it to have some kind of function. You go around, videotape, see what the conditions of the grounds are or whatever. Then after they have their event, you go back, do the same thing. And if stuff's destroyed, you keep the deposit, or they have to fix it back to the way that the condition was when they found it. But that's just an idea. That's the thought of what, you got the Civic Center, it's on your website. You could have that same arena set up the same way. It's like, all I ask, me personally, and not just the club, but me just personally, I think as long as we have our dates and can have our radio, we're gonna do what we can to help the town and maintain that thing to get it to where we can have our event each year.
We more or less rent from the city.
Correct.
We rent that rodeo grounds as is. We go there, we pressure wash it. We eat it, we spray for weeds when we have it. We, take care of the ground when we're there. We painted the concession stand. We don't use it anymore, but we painted. But we've come to you every time we've done something to it and let you know and ask permission to do these things. So I feel we rent it as is. So when we go up there, we want something done or need something done, we fix it. Or we add to or whatever we do, but it's as is, as far as I'm concerned, or we are concerned, is that's what our agreement is. We take it, go in there, and that's how we have it. We want something different, we fix it or we change it. And it's as is, we go in there and use it. We have our dates, we give you our dates, and that's what it is.
So the Saddle Club would just as soon rent it from the town as they're doing now.
Like it
But
is now.
I don't see a problem with that either. I'm sure we can write.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and then we can do the Lions Club the same way. Do one just with Lions Club and do one just for the for the Saddle Club. Doesn't matter. I think we're making it way too damn
I
difficult.
think it's getting too complicated, but I think if the town's gonna rent it to the Saddle Club and they're gonna rent it to the Lions Club when they're having their events, they need to be on two separate documents just to keep things more simple. I don't know. What do you think, Scott?
It sounds like really what y'all are talking about is just a facility rental agreement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Saddle Club comes in and rents it, the Lions Club comes in and rents it, and whoever else wants to come in and rent it. If somebody's doing a circus, they can come here and rent it. That's just a facility rental agreement. That's pretty simple.
That's all good, but I don't think that's what this is about. I think it's about who's gonna maintain it. Who's doing the maintenance.
I think a lot of it is about that. And here's the crux to the matter. If you stick with this agreement right here, and we get $250 a day for 2 days, that's $500. You know as well as I do that the town of Pierson cannot adequately maintain and do all the repairs and everything else on that rodeo facility for $500.
That was the town council's choice.
I understand it. I'm looking at it.
But that's why we're having this meeting right now, it's about the money. That's all I've heard about every one of them. We can't afford it, we can't afford it. It costs this much, we spent this much. It's about the money that the town has spent. That's the majority of what this is about, whether you want to say it or not.
It is, and I know y'all spent money up there too.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, we got to figure that out. That's the part we got to figure out. Having a license thing, that's fine, it's license. That's basically what we were doing prior. Y'all, we went up there and paid y'all, and I don't know if you actually give us a license, but we paid y'all the $500, and y'all
Right.
gave us permission, I guess that's the license, to put on our rodeo. The Saddle Club did the same thing. That's back where we were. But who's going to pay, who's responsible to maintain that thing year round, year round? I think I heard the attorney say you can't expect people to go up there and use it 2 nights a week to maintain it year round.
No, and I would also say you can't expect the city to maintain it and only charge you
That goes both
$250.
ways.
All right, well, I understand that.
Yeah.
I
We never
think
came up with that price. That was not something we came up with that we counted.
the Lions Club should maintain, repair, whatever, anything deemed necessary for their rodeo production. If it's the bull gates, if it's fence, whatever.
Well, I think when the Lions Club goes up there to put their rodeo on, if they accept it as an as-is condition, if the gate needs to be repaired, then I believe the Lions Club needs to fix it. I mean,
I don't have a problem with that, but I don't think that you can make, if we're going to have to maintain it. I'm saying again what I said earlier. If you want us, basically you're trying to work around the maintenance thing. If you want us to maintain.
the only time it's maintained, Lamar, to be honest with you, is when y'all do put a rodeo on.
We have to.
Or unless the Saddle Club does some repair work up there. I mean,
We do all the work prior to the rodeo.
The same maintenance is gonna be done on it that we currently do, except what you need it to be ready to go for the event.
All right, here's a good
Is that-
example, the lights that be repaired right now, it's gonna cost about 12 or 13,000.
Yep.
That's what Red's told me to change, replace those lights that are up there now. He said that needed to be done last year, he said that you might get another year out of them, I'm not gonna say you or not. So y'all are saying that we need to go up there and spend $13,000 putting new lights up there and have a rodeo for 2 nights.
If they're not gonna work this year, I mean, we're not gonna be able to fund $13,000 for lights.
Well, the contract says you will.
We haven't signed a contract. This is an old contract. We don't have a contract with you for this rodeo this year, if I'm not correct.
The old agreement-
This
the
is
old
a year.
agreement says- The old agreement says you will get.
And I can't make that decision myself, but I'm not voting for to spend another $13,000 on lights. We just ex-nated Little League from spending thousands of dollars on lights. And that's year round, not just,
Example of what stuff needs, that stuff that you have to do. Just like when those lights were put there in the beginning, we spent a lot of money,
yeah.
a lot of money.
and I'm gonna say this, the people that have generated the most income for their club, and I know you guys donate most of that back to charitable causes in the community and everything else, but we've made $500 a year.
No, we
And
lose
y'all's
money
gross
on it every
ticket
year.
on that radio's been vastly more than that.
Once again, the
Or it's
town
not
can
losing,
rent
we're
it
giving
to
it.
somebody else, not just us. So don't hold that over my Lions Club for one event, when the town could be utilizing those grounds for more than what me and the Saddle Club do.
And I understand the 500 was probably, that was just,
I know,
they came up with what we did.
I didn't have anything to do with that either, that was
None of
before
Boss
me.
was there, and that was the fee that they came up with. We thought it was a great deal. We said, oh, yeah, we're happy.
Can you change the fee?
I knew you did, and I knew that was gonna be a bad deal for
Change
the
the
town.
fee to what? We've got to obviously change this whole
That's
thing.
why we're
because
changing it.
Nobody's agreeing to any of it.
That's why we're changing it.
The fee and.
For
The fee
60,
is what?
as far as I know,
$259,
for
ain't
60
I thought he
years,
said zero.
for 60
Okay,
years, the
zero.
town charged y'all $1 a year.
Right.
And the rodeo did, and Lions Club did all the maintenance. That's what our agreement is gonna state now. We're gonna charge y'all $1 a year, and the Lions Club is gonna be responsible for the maintenance
and repairs.
and whatever maintenance the Saddle Club doesn't do.
To make it,
Well, then,
And there's gonna be maintenance until that arena gets covered. The only way it's gonna get covered if we get a grant.
And even then, there'll be maintenance that has
Sure,
to be done.
but anyway, yes, there's
but when
gonna be
it all
maintenance
sits
on
out in the
anything
open,
that's on the outside. It's here in Florida. Wood's gonna rot.
No, I understand that.
Correct.
I understand how you can do that without doing a lease.
And electrical won't last forever. I can take you up there and show you old panel.
That's fine.
I can take you up
squirrels eat it.
I haven't seen it lately, but I can take you to the ball field and say panels that didn't even have cover.
I don't really want to lease, but I don't want to be having to do all the maintenance up there, not having any control over it.
We can't. We just can't.
I understand.
So,
I mean, it's to the point where it's gonna have to be, we're gonna lease it to you for $0 and you do the maintenance, or you're gonna have to find somewhere else to do the rodeo if that's not gonna be adequate, if we're gonna have to repair it or give it to you so y'all can repair it.
Myself, I hate to see
Same,
to have a rodeo.
right,
Yeah, nobody wants to see the town
I
not
went
have a
there
rodeo.
ever since I was a kid.
same of that. I don't wanna see it go nowhere else, but
I don't either, but we have to look at things realistically.
Well, so here's another good example of that. So I got an email today from the county. This whole property tax thing that happened today in Tallahassee, if that passes, it will likely restrict ECHO funding. So everyone says, oh, get an ECHO grant.
Yeah.
You
That's
won't be able
fixing to
to.
probably go away.
not gonna have it anymore.
You know, I've been waiting 11 months to hear
Right.
back about our grant for the park, and it's been recommended to the governor for funding, but was it in his budget that he's going to sign to this week? I have no idea. And if it is, I had planned to take that and use it next eco cycle to get matching funds up there at the park. That's probably not going to happen now. So that's cut our funding in half. So we keep hitting walls everywhere that we go. And just so we're all on the same page about budgets, since that's what I got hired to do, when I came in here, the town of Pierson had lost money and borrowed from reserves for like 11 consecutive years. We were at the point where we were this close to losing our town charter because the accountant that did our audit had to report a negative finding every year. We were almost where Willaca is right now. And in 4 years, we came in here and we turned it around, but the only way we turned it around was we had to just stop spending. The old council used to promise, we'll give you this, we'll let you do that, we'll only charge you $100, we'll only charge you $50 or whatever. And in the meantime, they spent their reserves until now we have almost no reserves. And we cannot borrow from reserves anymore. We can't count on property taxes now because we're going to lose $160,000 out of our property taxes next year. I mean, every avenue we've looked at, grants to try to make funding, it's not happening. And in the meantime, we still are paying all the utilities at the park, all the repairs at the park. You know, I'm not saying that, like, I think that burden should be shifted to anybody else. I'm just saying I don't know where we find it. Other than firing 3 of our 6 employees and trying to pull that budget together or canceling benefits or whatever. I mean, that's where we're at. That's basically where we're going to be at.
Closing some parks.
For the budget
This is
year.
where we are.
Yeah, I mean, the budget year this year that we're going to vote on this September is going to be ugly. So we just don't know what to do at this point. So it's nothing personal. It's just that the town literally can't give, we can't just keep throwing money at things. I would love to. You know, the idea was maybe if this FERDAP thing was successful, you could eventually do the rodeo as like a phase 2 of Chipper Jones Park or whatever and try to gather all the receipts from the last 7 years and use that as matching funds and all this stuff. But is the governor even, I mean, whoever the next governor is there even going to be FERDAP grant money? I don't know. Is there going to be a future for ECHO? We don't, Volusia County doesn't know. That's basically what their email
It
said.
looks pretty dim right now.
Right now, I mean, I think everyone's holding their breath to see where it actually goes, but that's the reality we find ourselves in. So, anyway, just wanted to put that out there. It's not that we haven't looked and researched and tried to find places to cut, and because we have, trust me. I would love nothing more than to. You can ask Yvonne. We've talked about how do we get a grant to cover the rodeo grounds and put in metal bleachers, and but right now there's nothing. Sorry, I'm done.
That was good.
I was waiting, I knew it was coming. We've been dealing with this.
No, that was good. I mean,
Yeah.
But I mean, I hope y'all
outlines it
understand,
all.
that's the point that the town is at.
Yes, sir.
Is, you know,
And like I said, I just don't want to get us into that same situation with only being able to handle two events, 2 fundraisers a year, and do all the maintenance and everything else. I mean, we're the same boat.
What other event do y'all have besides the
golf
rodeo?
tournament.
We just do
Oh, the golf tournament, yeah.
And right now, that's worked out. I mean,
Yeah.
the rodeo draws, we're the only Lions Club that has a rodeo for one. I think we're one of the few that don't have a clubhouse. And you've been to our clubhouse, most of it's old, and then we've just recently started doing some upgrades. In order for us to rent it out, you gotta do upgrades.
Oh, I know.
and draw the people. And it's been nothing fancy. I mean, we had flooring for 30 years that we just replaced. It's not like- So, but anyhow, I eat on the side of caution on our point. Lamar's been here the longest, got a lot of experience with the rodeo and everything. And, like I said, he said 14,000 on them lights. To me, that sounds pretty cheap, to be honest with you. And that's gonna be an upgrade too. That would make them LED lights that would be using less. Just like, I'm assuming, be like the ball fields that they just did, the LEDs there.
All that was donated.
It's donated, but we're paying.
But I'm saying that the lights at the ball field, a lot of that was donated.
Yeah, and did that ever happen? I know that Little League was wanting whoever donated lights was wanting a 5-year
Oh, I don't know.
lease.
No, that didn't happen.
But all that, the lights and the poles and all that stuff was all donated.
Yeah.
And the league was all donated.
Well, we might as well do that, but we don't have time to do that now. We gotta get them, make sure everything's working for the radio, as far as lights go and stuff. But every year, that's the thing. And one year we had them, they didn't come on, so that's why we definitely like to get them checked out before the radio. And I think we've been on a wing and prayer pretty much, to keep them going last year with limited trying to spend money on them. 'Cause they need-
We've been kind of doing the same thing as
Because
the
they need
town,
to be replaced,
keeping things
you know.
going.
But anyhow, I just know there was issues, there was outlets towards the birdhouse, things like that, they weren't working. So there's other stuff there. We had breakers tripping last year, the well blew a fuse. It was struck by lightning because the Jag's 3-phase, so it burned up a single-phase fuse. So that's stuff that I've got in my memory for this year to, hey, let's have an extra one on hand and things like that. But, so anyhow, whatever y'all.
So do you need to take this back to your club before you decide, make a decision, or?
Well, it doesn't sound like y'all got a complete decision yet, do you? On whether
Well,
you wanna
Make
do
a
a lease or
decision
you
at
wanna
this
do a-
workshop
The
anyway.
decision
Gotta wait
to-
until the meeting.
Charge what, $0?
We have to make it at the meeting.
Oh, at the
Yeah.
meeting, okay.
Yeah.
I said you
That's
can't
right.
make a decision
Okay.
right now
Okay,
either.
This is a workshop.
I got you. Well, I mean, it still didn't sound like there was two different discussions on what they
You
were
could,
wanting.
I mean, y'all could still present an option and then vote on it, right, Scott? I mean,
At the meeting.
you can
we
hammer
can't
out-
do
You have to
it
actually
here.
vote at the
We have
meeting,
to
but
do it
y'all
in the
can
meeting.
Discuss it, get to a consensus here.
yeah, so you can come to a consensus here about,
Yes.
this is what you're going to vote
Okay, yeah.
on. You're going to vote on a license, you get it in as-is, whatever you decide, and then we'll vote, you can vote on that at the meeting.
Yeah.
But you really can't vote until they take it back to the Lions
Yeah,
Club and
The other
decide
option is
if
for
they-
Lions Club to submit a proposal on what they want.
Could we do both? Could we say this is what the town proposes and
Well,
this
I
is
mean,
what the Lions
if it
Club
matches up, then you
proposes?
gotta, if it doesn't match up, then you gotta work it out. I'm just saying,
Right, right.
they can make a proposal, we can say this is what we wanna do, either way.
I think that might be a good idea for the Lions Club to submit a proposal to the town as to how they want to continue and how they want prefer to do it. And then, we can look at it, if either agree with it fully or come to a compromise or whatever. Because, I mean, we may see eye to eye on everything you propose and we may not. I mean, I don't know without seeing it.
I can definitely.
Just know that the town does not want that rodeo to go.
No.
I want Lions Club to realize that.
Yes, sir.
But as we've been talking for the last hour, you know what's up in front of us, as we know what's in front of y'all as well. So we're just gonna have to come to a compromise.
We're gonna have to,
one way or
we're gonna
another.
have to try to work together and come to some type of a compromise. And I think if you guys could put a proposal together and bring it back to us and,
Okay.
go from there.
Well,
What
I
do you-
know before, Robert Stone and James was always trying to get like a circus to come in, and whatever they made on that, They always offered the town a portion of it, but I know for a fact that they never took none of it. They always give it all to the Lions Club. The town didn't want no part of it. I mean, it's not that they didn't offer the town, a little bit of the money that they made. But things like that is what Robert always tried to, help make the Lions Club a little extra money than what they always, made for the rodeo. And I guess that's why they was always helping, repair whatever they could. They didn't make it all like brand new, but they always, worked over there and tried to fix things. And that's all that I can see that we need right now is Lions Club to help keep things up over there. Not completely repair it. I think like the town here, council, they don't expect y'all to completely put brand new stuff on everything, but help just like what y'all used to do.
I think we still do. I mean, to a point.
I know.
To a point, I mean, they bought the town boards, we put them on, we got the arena ready, I did know that the electric bill did come to you.
Well, I think.
But we arranged the work, getting it done, your crew didn't have to go here and meet Fred Huck or anything like that, so we're donating time and effort to it, but, anyhow.
I think it's time, y'all can go ahead and put a proposal together, and we need to bring this to an end, because we got another meeting coming up in about 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
And bring that proposal back to us, let us look at it. I mean, we can sit up here and talk back and forth all night. We need y'all put a proposal together of what you think you guys ought to do, and let us look at that. Maybe we'll agree with it 100%, or maybe we'll come up with a compromise and we can both agree to something.
Okay.
Does that sound agreeable to the rest of the board?
What, just the one part with the repair?
No, for them to come up with a proposal as to what they want to do with regard to the maintenance and everything in the rodeo ground.
Maintenance, but I thought we were going with the same lease, with just changing that wording in that paragraph, right? Is that what we're talking about?
As long as they agree with it.
As long as they agree to it.
As long as they agree with it.
They just got to let us know if there's something else they'd like to change while we're talking about changing it.
Can we go, because I need to go back?
Yeah.
I need to see it.
We're going to close this workshop.